Hello and welcome to a CBK gaming video. Join us as we discuss and review Warhammer Doomseeker. What is Warhammer Doomseeker? It's a 2 to 4 player competitive board game by Ninja Division. You take on the role of a Dwarven Slayer looking to die in a battle with the most epic monster that you can find. You have to fight your way through swathes of other monsters to get to these large boss monsters. It's set in the old world, Warhammer old world. A world that I remember from my childhood, from reading novels, from playing Warhammer Fantasy Roleplay, from playing the tabletop war game, painting miniatures, putting miniatures together. This was a world that I really enjoyed as a child, and as I've got older I've still learnt to enjoy the books, and some of the artwork still I find really interesting and enjoyable. Ninja Division, in our opinion, have really missed the mark. This game should be epic, it should be fun, it should be funny. One of the most important aspects of Warhammer for me is its dark humour. It's missing here. There's no passion in the production of this game. They've taken some of the wonderful artwork, applied it to some cards, and you roll dice. As long as the dice roll exceeds the number on the monsters that you're fighting, you win. You can add to that dice roll by using items that you've bought. There's no rules to say a limit, a hand limit for items that you've bought in the shop. It gets a bit silly. And the dwarves themselves all have slightly different abilities, making them slightly unique, but there are some that are very overpowered and there are some that are very underpowered. Some that are more powerful the more players there are, vice versa. You get different missions for each player that you want to achieve, so your secret objective. Some of those really are quite overpowered, and you get extra points depending on whether you meet them or depending on a certain set of circumstances. I just find the rolling the dice and adding, there are games that do that. Compass games, they do it very well with Night Fighter Ace and that selection of games. But it's a single player game. That you can see the story forming of a fighter pilot desperately trying to defend the skies above them, or a night fighter trying to hunt down the enemy bombers in night fighting campaign. This is one of the only board games I just want it to be over, and that really upsets me. I bought this expecting a phenomenal game. A game we'd sit down, take 45 minutes or so, play with our friends who all have a love of Warhammer and the Warhammer world. I don't want to introduce this to those people. It doesn't sum up Warhammer to me. It doesn't sum up the dwarves at all. The game's dragged. The artwork, whilst it is fantastic, can't hide the blandness of the cards. What did you think? Not having that background in Warhammer and having that love of that world.
For me, it could be an introduction, but it's not a good introduction to Warhammer. And as you said, we wanted to get friends round. We were going to play this again and again. It's something that now I might take on holiday with this, because it's something that we'd play once for 45 minutes and that's it, done for the evening. Whereas we've got other games that take 45 minutes that we play once and it's set it up, let's go again. This one we don't.
Yeah.
And that's where you start to realise that it's just not grabbing you. It's not as epic as you expected. It's not the big game you wanted.
Where's the dark humour? Where's the fun and laughter of dwarves trying to die?
Yeah.
That alone should be a really good laugh. It simply isn't there. The mechanics are old. Playing this with 4 players, which we have done, drags on and on and on. 2 players, you're looking at about 30 minutes. 4 players, we were looking at an hour and a half. And simply too long for this kind of game.
And it just didn't feel balanced. I mean,
No.
as you said, you all get your own grudge, which is your objective. But some of them are so easy to do, especially if you happen to draw that one with a particular character. And the 2 cards work together so perfectly that you're not going to be beaten that game.
There are certain synergies
And
which are almost unbeatable.
And there are others that are so hard to do. I mean, I was really slogging to try and achieve the objective just to get a couple of extra points for the end of the game. And you just think, it just didn't feel balanced enough.
Yeah, to me, this is a mediocre game. It's not hit the target at all. I would describe this as one of those glut of computer games that represent Warhammer on Steam. It's here. They're getting a little bit of money out of it. It's not worth anything. The good side to this is it is quite cheap. I think we paid about £18 in the UK. And I think you can see it for about £25. There are better games out there for that price. I'm glad it's a Warhammer game. It could have come with a lot of miniatures, really increasing the price of the overall product. I'm glad they stepped away from that.
Miniatures are certainly not needed in this game.
Oh no, but I could have seen they could have put all the dwarves in there. So yes, I'm glad they didn't. Overall, components, they're okay. The board for me is a bit too shiny. Playing with lights on, etc., it really blinds you at times. But the artwork's good.
Yeah, but the dice don't feel good quality either.
No,
and I kept getting a few that were repeating numbers a bit too much. But we did actually swap out the dice when we played.
Use proper dice.
But,
the rules are very simple. They are easy, but they're too simple. In this day and age, when there's more complex games out there, I don't think there's any excuse for that. There's games that could expand on the rule set that's here and make it a little bit more interesting, a little bit more compelling. This is combat. It's visceral, it's violent, it's trying to kill these large, lumbering monsters. There should be more to it. More guts, more passion from whoever created this.
And also for me, I don't normally pick up on this in games, but there's one female character, which, because there's only one, you feel it's a token one that's been thrown in at the end.
Yes.
As we can't have all males, let's just do it. If they'd done 2 female characters, I wouldn't have noticed it. I wouldn't have batted an eyelid. But there's one female and all the rest are male, and I I don't know. That just rubbed me the wrong way a little bit.
It's funny. I think they should have done the same as Darklight, who have really did a fantastic job with that. One side's male, the other side's female.
Yeah.
Let the players decide who they're going to be, and that could have been done very well. There's one other thing that really did stick out to me, and this really is for all those Warhammer fans out there. We have a Dwarven Troll Slayer with a gun, and I know that there is one clan out there that are supposed to, their Troll Slayers are supposed to carry missile weapons. That's dishonourable, it's cowardly. The Dwarven Slayers have always been, and will always be, in my opinion, close up, melee weapons, runic blue runes, a mass of hair, or bright colours, gaudy colours almost. It just felt wrong, out of place. But that's personal preference. Again, there are people out there, this is our opinion. To me, that card doesn't belong in there. Would I suggest you should have this in your collection? No, I wouldn't. There are better games out there for this sort of money. Why would you put this in your collection? You're a fan of Warhammer. That's why we bought it. This is going to stay on our shelves. I won't get rid of it because it is a Warhammer game, and I do like the artwork. But it's probably rarely going to be played.
It will be if someone else asks to get it off the shelf that it will come down, but we won't be suggesting it, I don't think.
No. I wouldn't, well, highly recommend you do not play this with 4 players. It just felt, as I say, dragged too much. But if you enjoy competitive games and you don't mind simplistic rules and you want a bit of a laugh, it is quite funny. Especially there are some cards that you can use to change things, annoy the other players. That can be quite funny. It's not a saving grace. It doesn't make it fun. It can make it quite painful. For me, a game that's set, a competitive game where you can have that sort of fun in games, Blood Rage, I would far rather play that. And there's a big price difference, however. But I'd rather play Blood Rage than something like this.
Yes, I'd agree with you there.
There you have it. Our review is, we stamp this a mediocre game. Thank you for watching. We have seen an increase in subscribers, and that's absolutely fantastic. Welcome to everybody. If you've got this far in the video, we really appreciate it. Over the next few weeks, you should see weekly videos coming out from us. You will also see a review of 2020, including our top 10 games, both competitive, some cooperative games, our biggest disappointments, and what we're looking forward to in 2021. So there are some great games coming that were delayed, and we are really looking forward to, especially something like Oathsworn, a game we played in 2019 with the guys in the UK Games Expo and fell in love with it straight away, and we're really looking forward to getting our hands on that, playing it. It looks fantastic, and we simply can't wait. I expect that's going to be in the top of our list at the end of 2021. Also, the next parts of Tainted Grail, which our copy's been stuck in Dartford, but we're looking forward to bringing that, playing that and bringing a review shortly. This was delayed because the first recording failed, audio failed, but the next video after this will be final hour We finally got round to playing that enough that we felt we could give it a proper review. And we'll be looking at some other games after that, along with a couple of other the Throwback Thursdays. The first video will be coming out in 2021, and that will be Acquire, and I will be doing the war games as well. So look forward to what 2021 brings. Thank you for your support.
Thank you.
Please consider liking and subscribing. Bye.